All right, so what's a good date idea where you can actually be yourself, make a real connection, and you don't feel like you are in an interrogation or a job interview? That's what we're going to cover today. 5 date ideas where you can just be yourself, where they're low pressure and you can just relax, take your anxiety down, and really get to know the person and form a real connection. So let's get started. Date number 1, bookstore browsing. Now I know it sounds kind of strange, but hear me out. So at a bookstore, there's a natural flow that you'd walk through, and so you're not sitting down face to face interrogating each other. You have endless conversation topics. So there's different sections of books and there's different topics, and you can discuss the sections, the topics, and you could pick out what you like, pick out what she likes, and discuss. And so you're going to learn a lot about the person on this date very quickly, and then you can go deeper. So it gets you past that surface level conversation and into real conversation and real knowledge about the other person, and showing yourself and them showing themselves. So you can take your time going through there. You can speed it up if you want to, or slow it down. And this is how real connections are formed. Another thing about this is that it will give you ideas when you learn about that person by browsing these books. It'll help give you ideas for what your next date should be. For example, if there's a sports section with kayaking or something and you both express interest in kayaking, then you could say, let's take a kayaking lesson together, something like that. That's just an example. So there's all kinds of things you can do from a bookstore browsing date. So definitely put that on your list. Date number 2, art walk or art gallery hopping. And this is really good. Once again, you have a nice flow through the art gallery and you interpret different pieces of art. And so you're going to learn about them through how they interpret that. They're going to learn about you. And there's plenty of time for quiet reflection, which you're supposed to do. So you don't have to be forced to keep this conversation going all the time. You will go, observe, comment, and then quietly reflect. And then once again, you're not sitting across from each other just grilling each other like it's a job interview. You're learning about this person, and there's a nice flow to each exhibit, so you know where you're supposed to go next. And then this will also give you ideas on potential next date ideas from what you learn about the person and what they learn about you while you are expressing yourselves about your opinions about different pieces of art. So add that to your list. Number 3, nature hike or a nature walk. So I'm not talking about getting out like specialized equipment, ropes and like special shoes and all that sort of stuff. Just a nice light hike or walk, and the nature backdrop. Walking will lower your anxiety, and the nature backdrop makes it easy to discuss things. It brings your nervous system down, and you can talk about what you see. It could be a chipmunk, cloud formation, different types of trees, the trail. There could be a lake or something. So it's a very easy, natural, relaxed way to get to know someone. And once again, it's not interrogation. It's just sharing a moment with somebody, a real moment. And you'll have plenty of moments for quiet reflection together as well as getting deeper into conversation. So definitely put that on your list. Number 4, animal shelter. So the animal shelter is really cool and very unique. Nobody's taken anyone to animal shelters for dates, but you will. And you're showing your compassion. You get to play with puppies and kittens and older dogs and learn their stories and talk and bond over this compassion, and it'll get her heart full and your heart full, and you will both feel more vulnerable and open with each other and building connections at an animal shelter date. And so definitely add this to your list, because this really gets people on an emotional level to bond through this common experience and the stories of the animals at the animal shelter. All right, number 5, farmer's market. The farmer's market date is a great date because there's plenty of things to do, plenty of booths to stop by, sights, sounds, smells to discuss, and it can lead to other things. So for example, maybe you will decide to cook a meal together at either that day or another day, and you'd pick out ingredients together to cook that meal together. Or, one of the many activities at the farmer's market, you're just walking around and you can take your time, and there's all the discussion topics you could possibly want. There's a lot of things at the farmer's market to keep you occupied, and the focus is outward and not on each other, so you can learn about each other, but very low pressure. So take these 5 and visit me back and leave a comment how it worked out for you. Try these out, and I will come back with another video with another 5 low pressure date ideas. Until then.